Hello friends, myself Shriram Korde. Up to now we have seen quite good amount of things with respect to 1D arrays. Now is the time that we understand 2D arrays. The easiest way to understand 2D array is to visualize it in the form of matrix. Why? Because we have done this as part of our college study or even at times in the schools. So let's get going now with respect to 2D arrays. So the way in which we have declared 1D array, on the similar lines we will be declaring a 2D array. So let me just declare the 2D array here. So you can have say int, so that means it's going to be an integer array, and I will just give the name as ARR, and then basically you need to provide with the 2 dimension. Why? Because now we are talking about 2 dimension or 2D array. So that means now I need to provide with the dimension. So suppose if I give 2 2, then it becomes a matrix, or essentially it's an array which is of the size 2 by 2. So here typically we will consider rows which deals with vertical way of accessing, and then columns is the horizontal. That means here the first thing is row, the second basically dimension is with respect to the horizontal or columns. You can visualize it in the form of a screen of a laptop, where typically you go from top to bottom, then you are basically going through rows, and if you go from left to right, then you basically are going column 1, column 2, column 3, like that. So the simple way to put it is, you have rows and columns. Rows are basically vertical, that means you go from top to bottom, and then columns are horizontal, that means you travel in the left to right way. So having said this information, now you need to basically provide with the way in which a data can be given. So you can just give the data. Say for example, I want to give data to row 0. Then what I can do is ARR of 0. So this is 0th row and 0th column. Why? Because now we are talking about ARR of the size 2 by 2. So you basically can provide with some number, say 100. Similarly, you can have 0th row and you can have say first column, and I want to give it to say 110. So it's a row 0. Here on the similar lines, then I can do it for row 1. So here obviously I will have to use 1 here in the place of row, and let me just change this to say 210. Now if I want to print it, now what I have done, essentially I have given the data to the array 00, array 01, then array 10 and array 11. Now I need to check whether the data is correct. Then obviously I need to do print. So how do I do? So basically I will just do a print here, and you can see this printf percentage d error of 00 then 01. Similarly I can print 10 and 11. So let's run this code now, and let's see how does it work. So you can see this output has come, which is 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 2, 0, 0 and 2, 1, 0. That means this is 0, 0, this is 0, 1, this is 1, 0 and 1, 1. If it would have been say 3, 3 matrix or 3, 2 matrix, then obviously you will have a row 2. If it is say 3, 2, suppose if it is 3, 2, then you will have here row, you will have to populate it with one more this one, and here it will be row 2, then obviously this will be 2 and this will be 2. So if I try to just visualize this, then let's try to see that. So we can go to draw, and suppose if I just draw, so let me just draw this. So this is the way typically you can have rows and columns. So let us say this is a 3 by 3 matrix. So this is row 0, this is row 1, this is row 2, this is column 0, this is column 1, and this is column 2. And then accordingly you can access it using the indexes, that means 0 0 0 1, that means this is 0 0, this is 0 0, this is 0 1, this is 0 2, then 1 0, 1 1, 1 2, then 2 0, 2 1, and 2 2. So that's the way typically you can visualize, or you can start understanding the way in which you have the matrix, or you can have the 2D array essentially. Why? Because it's a 2D array. So I hope you understood the basic concept with respect to 2D array and how can I use indexes to give the values. That means here we provided with the various values, and then we essentially did the printf. That means we showed those values which we gave. Thank you.